Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Now keep in mind, my friends, these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there. And if you're looking for a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below, or you can just send me an email and we can set that up. All right, let's get started. For Sagittarius, what is the current energy around Sagittarius for the week ahead? Current energy around Sagittarius for the week ahead. Okay, lots of cards coming out for you. Let's see here. Prosperity lies ahead, Sag. It's a time to give rather than take. Oh, you've got so many here. Surrender to the divine. Your hard work is paying off and luck is on your side. Okay, that builds quite the beautiful theme. And the bottom of the deck is the energy is gaining momentum. So, you know, it's interesting. It's sort of like this is forming a nice sentence of reassurance and guidance for you, saying, hey, prosperity lies ahead. This is a time to give rather than take. So stay in the abundant mindset. Don't stay in the scarcity mindset. Release scarcity. Surrender to the divine because your hard work is paying off, luck is on your side, and the energy is gaining momentum. So Sagittarius, this is so interesting. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 new moon cards. 4. And we just passed through the new moon in Pisces. And so you've got new moon in Taurus, new moon in Virgo, new moon in Capricorn, and new moon in Sagittarius, plus a full moon and a waxing moon. So it's like you've got so many new moon cards. That's so interesting. You're experiencing some new beginnings here. There's really something that you are going to see take off soon. And everything you're doing right now is helping. Everything you're doing right now. You're focused, you're giving, you're staying in that abundant mindset, you're working hard, you trust that prosperity will come to you and that everything is conspiring to get you to this goal. And I feel like this guidance here of surrender to the divine is coming through for you because at some point, you know, there's only so much you can do until you can also surrender, right? That piece of surrender comes in as trust, as faith, as it's like, I was going to say as belief, but it's almost stronger than belief. It's a knowing. You know that this, whatever it is that you're working on is going to work out for you. It's all coming together. You have planted all of the seeds, and I feel like you're going to experience this blooming of whatever seeds you've been planting, and you've been working so hard at it. I feel like it's important for you now to be of service and to not focus on gaining, but on giving, and how to offer what you've learned and how to offer whatever it is that you're working on, how to make it an offering, and to surrender, to trust, and to experience this idea of the energy gaining momentum as you not breaking that vortex of belief, keeping the vortex whirling and swirling with this knowledge that everything is going to work out. And that whatever it is that you've been planting seeds towards, it's coming, it's blooming. And it's very interesting. I really feel like it's going to lead to a whole new life for you, Sagittarius. This is launching you into a new timeline, you know, and it's the imagery in my mind. I wish I had some words to describe what I'm seeing, but it's like, it literally feels like a shooting star. Like it feels like a star that is shooting across the sky. And that's how fast things are moving for you, even if you can't see them yet. Let's see what the tarot cards will say for Sagittarius. You got the most oracle cards. First card out of the deck for you is the Ace of Cups. I love that. That's your holy grail. That's your cup running over, right? So yes, you will focus You will be best served to focus on giving this to others, making it an offering that is full of abundance and love and compassion and empathy. I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, you're giving of yourself to it, and you're giving others. You're wanting to make an offering to be of service to others, and it's bringing in this beautiful energy towards you because it's replenishing. It's like you're like, take of my cup. My cup will be filled by the divine always. So take from my cup. And you know your prosperity is here. And so it's like you have no problem giving of yourself and giving from your cup. And you're not interested in taking. You're just interested in allowing that energy to continue to flow. And you it's like you've discovered that by giving, you leave yourself open to receive. But right now your focus is giving. And it's creating this beautiful new beginning for you in the Ace of Cups. There's the Five of Swords, which is interesting. So I feel like you might be having some communication issues around you with others. There could be people, just as much as people are coming to your cup to drink, there could be people coming to your table to argue with you and to fight you on things. And this could be happening as a mechanism to push you even harder towards your goal. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of those moments where I feel like we have opportunity to be pushed or to be defeated. And I feel like seeing this Five of Swords is making me feel like it's all up to you what you do with this moment. Will you allow yourself to sort of feel defeated, or will you feel like, nope, I just keep going? And I know this is all happening and that this is nothing. This is a blip. This is a blip that reminds me that in some cases, in all cases, you can't convince people that aren't willing to come to what you're offering. That if someone sees something a certain way, no matter what you say, they may still see it the way they see it, and you can't change that. So this card is making me feel like all you have to do is offer. Your job is not to make sure that people take that offering. Your job is just to offer. And people will come and take or not take. And that's up to them. Because that is on them. You know what I mean? Like if someone sees your offering and challenges you on this offering and starts to push you and maybe wants to turn it into something else, that reveals them. That doesn't reveal you. You're just showing up to offer. And I feel like you could encounter some energies that are in contradiction to that offering. And it'll be interesting to see what you'll do. But I think that really your focus is just on making that offering. And there's the Knight of Wands. So that tells me that you're moving towards things with a lot of charisma and passion and this idea of commitment to a certain journey. You're on a certain journey right now, Sagittarius, and you're moving towards it with a lot of enthusiasm. And whether or not everyone understands it, that's not on you. Your job is to make the offering. Your job is to participate in the journey. Not everyone will be able to join you on this. And that could also be what this Five of Swords is saying, is that just keep going. Like whoever resonates with this will come with you. And if they don't, that's okay. Because people can only come as far as they have experienced, right? That's a reflection of where they're at, not where you're at. And there's the Wheel of Fortune. So that's what I mean. Like you're moving forward anyway. And if I feel like this Five of Swords says that there may be some relationships that don't come with you. Flat out. There may be some relationships that can't join you on this journey because that's not where they're at. They're not there yet. And that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. There may be some defeating conversations, and it's going to be up to you whether or not you allow that to defeat you or not. Seeing the devil says to me that there may be temptations that come to the surface. There may be some shadows that rise to the surface as you're moving along your journey, because as you expand and evolve, these things are no longer in alignment with you. So they come to the surface so that you can heal them and release them. And seeing that 5 of Swords really makes me think that part of this for you, especially Sag, is going to involve being okay with people not coming along on the journey with you. Bottom of the deck, we see the 5 of Cups. So it's emotionally tricky for you to see those relationships not come along. And it's also tricky for you in the sense that you're going to want to convince them. And that's not your job. That's on them to resonate with it or not. And so it feels to me like in some ways that is going to be part of the journey for you, is to accept what is and to know when you have no control over it. And so seeing these 2 5s tells me that there could be conversations or actions that you just, that might push your buttons. They might trigger you, right? And then it's up to you to either keep going or get triggered. But I feel like you're going to keep going, and you're going to end up seeing those triggers for what they really are, which are just moments for you to heal. That's all they are. Those triggers are reminders to say, hey, there's a wound here. I'm wounded. When I feel like people don't understand me, when I feel like there's a miscommunication, that triggers me, because if I can't feel like I'm understood, then somehow I feel like my worthiness has shifted, or the value of my words is no longer there because someone else didn't understand me or misunderstood me or doesn't see the value in what I'm saying or doing. And that's to me, that's a wound that develops out of sort of like feeling insecure and not feeling confident in ourselves, feeling the need for external validation in order to feel valid and worthy. And so that could pop up at you because it needs to pop up right now so that it can be released. And then seeing this 5 of Cups makes me think of the same thing, but almost on an emotional level, because it's cups. So it's sort of this idea of not feeling like you're not valuable or worthy because someone failed to see your value or worth. That's on them. That reflects where they're at, not you. It doesn't have a reflection about you. It just shows what they're able to see. And that's it, right? So it's very interesting, Sagittarius. It really feels like something is happening for you this week that's going to push you into a space where, yes, your hard work is going to be realized and the energy is gaining momentum. But as that energy gains momentum, there's things coming up that need to be cleared and healed and then released, right? So it's very interesting. Very interesting. I do feel like there is something here that's moving you towards what you've been working on, and you just have to be able to surrender with respect to relationships or misunderstandings, to just say, well, I guess that's how you see it, and that there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't have to understand what I'm doing. You don't have to understand what I'm saying. And if it doesn't make sense to you, and it's almost like this energy feels like it wants to fight with you. And I feel like your best guidance is to walk away. And to not have that fight, to allow people to see and think what they do, see and think, and to not let that become something that triggers you, because ultimately it's a reflection on where that person's at, just like where you're at is a reflection of where you're at. Do you know what I mean? It's interesting. Okay, let's shuffle and see what does it's interesting. So you already got a message of surrender, surrender to the divine. But let's see what you need to surrender or surrender to. Surrender or surrender to. For Sagittarius. Surrender or surrender to. Surrender worry. Surrender procrastination came out as I was sort of pre-shuffling, but I didn't take it, but it's back. So don't procrastinate. Get a move on, whatever you're working on. I think you've been working really hard, so just keep doing that. It says now is the time to jump on a goal. Don't put it off. Take action and attract success. So keep doing what you're doing. Surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body, focus on the power of your heart, and have faith that Spirit is always guiding you. Surrender to the divine. Any worries you have, surrender to the divine. Any moments where you feel like someone doesn't understand you and it starts to trigger you, surrender and keep working. Don't let that make you procrastinate and second guess yourself. You know, don't let someone else's inability to see your worth change your path. You keep going. You know, I feel like there's one more card in here for you. Let's shuffle one more time. Any other messages for Sagittarius? Surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving any dilemma or dissolving any obstacle or block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you can approach the situation more calmly. So this confirms to me that anything that triggers you is teaching you to surrender. Anything that triggers you this week is teaching you to surrender into non-action. And I know I said don't procrastinate, but this non-action is like don't get triggered. Don't let things trigger you into having a reaction instead of a response. Be still, breathe, and focus on your power. Let others come to you. You don't have to bring them to the altar. You know what I mean? Let them come to you. And if they come to you and they start to pick a fight with you and trigger you and want you to explain things in a way that, you know, it almost feels like there's some part of this that has to do with communication. When I see that Five of Swords, like words exchanged that leave you feeling like, well, should I just give up on this? No, that is happening to see what you'll do. If you see everything that's happening around you as a metaphor, then, and you see things as energy instead of this like 3D world that makes us think that it's something else, that's all happening to see, well, what will you do? Will you procrastinate then? Will you start to worry and feel frustrated and be triggered and then not do anything? Do you know what I mean? Or will you sort of smile and just gracefully allow people to be wherever they're at with things and you keep moving forward? That's the guidance. Very interesting. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Sag. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this has been helpful. And remember, anything that triggers you is showing you where you need to surrender. Okay, sending you so much love and light, my friends. Take care.